Welly, welly, well, look who's back. It's the damn Emporium, the scoundrels, the heroes of Duskfall in War of the Crows Season 2, the game where we play Blades in the Dark. We have had
Are we heroes?
Yeah.
I think last session I heroically mowed someone down as they were running away.
You're heroes of your own stories, I guess.
That's true, I suppose.
You know, like the ancient Greeks, who also did some shady shit.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the greatest comparison.
You're heroic like the ancient Greeks.
Yes.
So,
we shall be legends.
Friedrich sacrificed his daughter on a burning pyre to get fair winds for Troy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Greeks love
classic.
that. You know, you're remembered forever for that.
I see.
Yes, that's true.
Dragged a guy around his castle 7 times. You know, baller move. I don't know why I'm going back into Cecil. Baller move.
Well, that's given me some ideas for our next score.
Yeah. The siege of Duskfall. Well, we ended up last session doing what was going to be an ambush, turned into an all-out war with the billhooks. It was very intense. Silas was, as usual, on the front line, nearly defeated, mortally wounded.
Indeed, actually fighting for his life for real.
Yes,
I think the first time.
Indeed. Luckily, Saffron ingenious machinations in the battle turned the tide.
Oh yes.
Exploding melon cart.
Good roll on a melon that was.
Yeah, that was.
It wasn't critical, was it? It wasn't a critical melon. It wasn't 6.
Yeah. But we can take turns reading the scroll, and maybe Silas and Saffron can divvy this up. Actually, Friedrich's online now. Actually, you can take turns.
I'm arrived.
Oh, thank you, teacher.
Okay. So I'm going to do the first paragraph then, shall I? Yeah?
Go for it.
War is upon you once again. A critical blow has been dealt against the dastardly billhooks. Scores lay dead or dying in the streets. Coran has been taken prisoner, and the people of the docks believe liberation is coming.
The billhooks are wounded, but far from out. Now with their beloved son missing, Tarvel and Erin Cassidy will stop at nothing to take revenge.
The Emporium have now revealed their intentions to the city and gained erstwhile allies with their actions. Can they weather the ferocity of the billhooks and untangle the intricate web being spun by the insidious North Hook Company?
Dun dun dun.
One hope.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do believe they can.
So, I have updated the faction statuses, and you can see that you are now full allies with the Lost.
Sweet. Oh wow, yeah, that's pretty good.
You are
allies. Allies.
Yeah, you've.
Yeah, they really like us hating the billhooks. Hey.
Yeah. It's,
You
I mean,
also-
it makes complete sense. I'm just so. What's this feeling?
People like us. It's
and you kind of boosted them to like win this epic battle against the billhooks as well.
Yeah, it's true.
Which is a great feeling for them.
And it didn't go too badly for them. I'm sure they lost.
Also
Some
winning
people
a
there.
pivotal battle against the billhooks in in inverted commas broad daylight has given you +1 with the Dockers. As
Okay.
they've finally learnt who you actually are for and against.
Dockers, rise up!
Finally.
Unite!
Yeah. And the citizens of the docks as well,
I'm well up for Silas's rabble-rousing trade unionist phase.
Yeah.
Well, he's going through a lot of emotional change over the course of this. He's really finally, I think, learning who he really is. And yes, leader of the revolution might not have been what we had written down on our bingo cards at session 1, but perhaps it's there now.
Has anyone else played Disco Elysium?
Yes.
Getting some Revachel Docker Union kind of vibes suddenly.
Yeah, I mean they would be an extremely good basis to for the Dockers, I think.
Indeed.
I better play it.
Trade unionists. Oh, love it.
It's only the best RPG ever made until Baldur's Gate 3 came out.
Very different games, but
I didn't like the way that it kills you in stupid ways so it can laugh at you.
I didn't die stupidly once. I didn't die stupidly once. So
I did. I died to the chair.
You died to the chair.
I did it, and I thought it was hilarious.
As a GM, I was like, "This is stupid." My GM doesn't respect me.
Not making the players feel powerful, or not making them feel like an idiot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I died because I lost an argument to a child or something, and I was like, "Yeah, okay, fine, whatever."
Yes.
I'm gonna go play Diablo. Yeah, and then obviously you can. I do mean to play it, but you are of course -3 with the billhooks. You are in open war once again.
Well, whatever.
Kind of forgot about that bit.
What more? We're going to be poor and painful now.
Yeah, and the battle ended with you taking Coran as a prisoner. You actually gave him the choice to help you or die. You know, he chose the former because he's not an idiot, and has said that he would help you get to his father, who is serving life in Ironhook prison.
Is that where Lawrie was imprisoned?
And it sounds like it's where he's going to be imprisoned again. That's my plan.
Yeah.
You're not in the session? You're the fall guy.
And this skirmish happened. I think it was just outside of the Emporium because they were on their way to bomb it. Like they bombed the Falchion pub.
We lost one of our
holdings.
I like that pub as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Named after one of the relatively good swords.
We almost lost the Foghound as well, but Gus and Lorenzo went to the rescue.
Yes.
Yes. Do you think there are scenes happening today?
I listened back to the last episode today, and then when he was like, "No, mate, save it till next time." It's just, I'm so annoyed right now if I had to jump into the score again to do 1 or 2 action rolls max.
Yeah.
But they did try to go after the Foghound boat, but Marvin Gaye, Marvel Vale managed to defend it against those dastardly billhooks. So we will have to do some payoff now for this score, this war score.
War score.
So first of all, does anyone remember anything about any XP?
Yeah, I made notes. I don't know I don't think I gave them. I'm just double checking.
Let's see now.
I wrote it down.
How many desperately violent actions did I roll?
I can't have because I'd given it. I'd already done it. No, I must be about to get it, which is great. It's been a while, haven't I? Yeah, so I wrote a few things. I think I gave I tinkered to create the fake grenade. So I addressed a challenge with technical skill and mayhem. So it was I think I only get twice because it's even though I've done stuff for technical and mayhem, you can only get that 1 bullet point twice, can't you? Even if I'm doing technical skill or mayhem differently, right?
I think you can do both for the same thing twice.
Yeah, interesting. Is it Mark 2 if that item occurred multiple times? But you only get more than 2, right?
No,
So
no.
basically, I put
two.
up the things that's what I'm saying, because I did it very tinkery to create the fake grenade that went off. I tinkered with the gate system, and I also wrecked the melon cart. So that's kind of 3 tinkerings and wrecks. But the bullet point just says you address the challenge of technical skill or mayhem. So is that you can only do that twice, even though it's 2 tinkers and 1 mayhem. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's max 2 XP then.
So 2, fine, good. And let's see what else within there. Express beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. No, I don't. Maybe on the crew thing we tried to be scary, didn't we? But I didn't actually end up struggling my vice or trauma, which I probably should have actually. I've kind of left. I need to get back on it because my trauma is still obviously Milo Silas being violent, but it's kind of happened so often now. It's kind of I can't really react to it every single time, or I literally would just be hiding in a corner for every single score. But so yeah, I don't think I did that particularly well last time. And then beliefs, I don't think I expressed my beliefs, drives, or heritage. I planned to, but it was all a bit too fast paced, to be honest, in a good way, to kind of stop and express anything other than just trying to get shit done. So
Yeah.
I think I'm going to take 2 XP there, and then I did 1 desperate action in. What I rolled out. One desperate roll for finesse, which I guess must have either been the wheelchair mowing down or something else. So I get a point of prowess there,
Yes.
which has put me over to a new playbook advancement. So I get to have a look there and see what I get there. That'll be fun.
Very nice.
But yeah, that is me.
Silas.
So I was just scrolling to make sure I got this right, and it does appear to me as though Silas made 5 desperate skirmish rolls in the session.
I mean, I can believe that.
I mean, I guess most battles don't go on for long enough or have so many occurring in one score for that to be possible. I think that really does speak to the level of desperation required for survival.
Yeah.
So yeah, got a heap of that as Silas fought for his bloody life.
Jesus.
So that's quite exciting. That actually does max out another prowess pip. You know, as Silas seeks to diversify his skills, but very, very much just still getting really good at one. But I can't skirmish up to 4, can I? There's a different requirement for that, wasn't there?
Yes, you need to unlock mastery, which you're actually halfway to doing, so you just need to level up.
Then we could do the first half of that, didn't we?
Yeah, so you just need to crew advancement a bit. So can always do crew XP next and see whether you can get that mastery.
Yeah, I'll hold on to that then, because I don't want to bump his prowl up more, because although it's a good skill to have, it feels like kind of like Lorenzo's thing. Kind of want to leave it space there. But there's finesse and wreck could always be useful if we can't get there yet, so that's fine. So obviously we also got a couple of pips for addressing challenges with violence on the playbook, and also struggling with issues from trauma came up on account of him refusing to use his rage essence vial and then nearly dying.
Yeah, against the billhooks who were using the rage essence vials.
Yeah, and so I don't really know what Silas personally takes out of this. I feel like he needs to think about that. Like, it is a bit of a win for him that he is trying not to give in to his base instincts. He might get back and be like, should I have done that? Oh, done. Or he might come back and say, I think, what I like to think actually is he comes back thinking, yeah, I nearly died, but maybe it was worth it for personal growth. Or maybe it's more like, you don't need that. That's not all you are.
Yes.
So, I don't know. It's a complex mishmash of all of the above feelings, I think. That's also going to take me up on playbook advancement. So I need to have a little think about what I'll what I'll do with that.
Interesting.
And I haven't really had any thoughts about it yet, so I'm going to have a little browse of the book while we do the other things.
Yeah, my God, like the veteran, see what else exists out there.
There are some like fairly like well-rounded, obvious, but maybe not that interesting ones, like Mule, that just gives you a higher load limit. Like, yeah. But you know, we want to see some cool stuff. So that's me.
Nice. Let's take a look at crew XP. There was no smuggling done, so that's that.
No.
Smuggled some body parts out of their rightful place.
Contending with challenges above your current station. Billhooks are tier 2, you are tier 2, so nothing there. Bolster your crew's reputation and develop a new one. I would say yes to this because
Sweet.
you've made an impact on a lot of different folks. So it looks like you're not advancing this time, but did you express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew?
I would say it's got to be a couple, right? Because I mean, I guess it's that weird thing again. It's the expressing thing we talk about having to like be very explicit, but it's obviously following quite dramatically our goals of taking over the docks. And then I believe I was trying to think. There was definitely was it this round or was it the last round? There was more conflict. I guess there wasn't as much conflict this time, was there? I think I'm thinking the previous round, obviously, with when Friedrich obviously RP'd that lovely moment where he killed the guy on the boat. But there wasn't actually much conflict between us, was there? It was all kind of pretty smooth.
I think Lorenzo
definitely gets
leaving the fight.
That was more a personal thing, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. With that, I mean, that would kind of probably create some inner conflict.
Yeah.
Potential.
Maybe eventually when he gets back, but he definitely deserves. Because it was quite an inky thing. The whole thing about family and looking after his only love.
He also is convinced that he likes his dog more than any of you, which I think is quite hurtful.
Hey, you know, it's what is. I was gonna say, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm sure was it. No, it was. I was thinking. I thought because again the whole thing we're trying to drum that kind of fear, Batman-esque thing of the crew, but I don't think we necessarily did that in any specific way.
I mean, your running down of people was kind of Batmobile.
That was kind of in my mind.
Batfleck-esque.
Not the bat, but more just the kind of being intimidating kind of thing.
Your gadgets, yeah.
But no, probably not. Probably it really. Probably just the 1 XP for bolstering the rep.
Yeah. Okay.
Heat.
Agreed.
It wasn't very noisy. Probably no heat on this one, I reckon.
I think so.
I mean, we didn't start that fight.
Was always burning.
It's true.
Actually, what is your heat at the moment?
Currently 1 it says, which seems low, but I think we did a lot of heat clearing.
I think everybody did a bit of heat reduction. Right, so let's do some rep.
Oh yeah, we're pretty close to something else. This should be good. This should.
Yeah, so you get 2, and then you get 1 bonus, right, for your upgrade.
That gives us a turf.
You're the same tier, so there's no adjustment there. So it's the 3.
So we filled rep up to the blocks. So that gives us a turf or it.
So that means you can go up to tier 3.
Really?
But you do have to pay.
Oh God, yeah.
3 times 8 gold. But then we divided by 2 because of the patron. I believe.
So, say again.
Yes.
3 times 8.
So 24, but then halved.
12 gold.
Coin, yeah.
Well, I mean, we are going to war. I mean, I'm pretty sure we can swing it in terms of actual money to hand. It's whether
actually, to be fair, because of the you've gone to war, so you would have gone down to weak hold. So this would actually get you to stronghold, back to stronghold again. You don't have to pay anything for that.
No, okay. That's probably fair balance. So run me through that again, just like so we went to week.
Yeah, you're back to 0 rep, but once the war is over, you'll have the chance to.
Well, so we hit the 1, so we still give us the 2 rep back again. Does that Why do the white blocks fill in at the end again? Sorry, I can't remember why they.
For every bit of turf you get, it lowers the max.
But when do we get turf? Just when?
When you go after it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Actually, I need to remove the vice den because
Oh
lost
no!
it.
That's a really powerful
Oops.
thing. Yeah.
Oh god! Right. So
Yeah.
it's just the three turf.
Yes. Oh, you're removing it back down to 2. Oh, that's quite bad. We really and can we only get turf back via scores? Can we do it in downtime? Because that was very, very important having that vice then actually.
It's kind of, you can do it as a score. You can specifically go after it as a goal. It's really up to you how to get them.
Back in 1 second.
Because you normally have to steal them off somebody else, right? Cool. Well, let's do coin. There wasn't any sort of coin to be had. It was just a big fight. But it does say 2 coin, several full purses. So maybe you plunder 2 coins worth of.
Yeah, got a little bit of looting, isn't there?
Yes. You still don't have a vault, so I guess you two take a coin each.
Yeah, works for me.
A present. You're not paying the tithe because you are trying to kill the tithe people. Heat. So.
Each meat.
Is this going to be the very first devastating exposure? Because this is loud and chaotic, high exposure, or wild, devastating exposure. Wild. And my reasoning though is, my thinking is that actually wild should be reserved for real crazy shit. Because I think fair enough like a gang fight is pretty loud and chaotic, yes. But if you live in Duskville, you're probably not gonna.
Yeah, I feel like wild is like, we've decided to blow up a government building.
Yeah, or like end of Ghostbusters scenes. You know, giant. You know, what's the guy? The puffer man. Yeah, him. That would be wild. So let's say 4, and then +1 for being at war. Do I add that now, or? Yeah, I think you have to add that now, and then 2 for if killing was involved. So that is 7.
7. Ingrained in our culture.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oof! So you're 1 off. Going up a level, wanted level.
Good job we have all those actions available now while we're at war to reduce heat.
It's good, isn't it?
Should be good.
Alright, cool. And then last, let's do some entanglements. So let's do, right. So I need to roll 2d6. Oh, that's big. Big numbers. 6 and 5. So what's your wanted level right now? 1. So that is 7. 7 and 5. So questioning. cops grab an NPC member of your crew or one of the crew's contacts to question them about your crimes, who do you think is most vulnerable? Make a fortune roll to see how much they talk. Or pay the constables off with 2 coin. Roll 2 dice for a normal person to see how well they keep quiet. If they're an experienced underworld type, give them 3 or 4 instead. So who do we think the blue coats would grab for info?
Who's been most prominent among our pals? Definitely not Friedrich's friends. So the only one we've met of Friedrich's friend is Telda, his little orphan beggar girl who has not featured in this film for some time.
Certainly not appearing in this film. I think it was one of the Lost, maybe Courtland.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Tier 1. Wussy boy.
I'm sure he'd like to be described as such.
Well, also because we described him as essentially like the guy from The Gentleman, like the older brother from The Gentleman. So he's probably a bit of a gabbler. So I'm just going to copy this in so I can actually keep on this page. So make a fortune roll to see how much they talk. Oh god, this can add heat. So would you rather pay off the constables to avoid the heat?
We're how many heat away?
1. So actually, you are going to increase.
Those 2 coin that we just received. Titus wasn't much of a payoff anyway, was it?
Yeah.
I would probably vote paying off as the consequences. That feels like the. Yes, so we're really fishing for a 6 to not get an increased wanted level, aren't we?
Is it 6? I think it's. Oh yeah.
It's +1 even on a 4 or a 5.
Yeah. So I imagine a 6 is 0. It's not mentioned, but yeah. 2 dice for a normal person. Experienced underworld type. Give them 3 or 4. I'd say he'd get 3.
I mean, it's not bad odds, but it is also you rolling.
Yes. Yes.
And your dice rolls do have this magical capability to be good when we don't want them to be, and bad when we want them to be good.
Yeah.
Not something we can control, though. I don't think there's any decisions that we can make on this basis.
No, I would vote for paying off, but if that's not very scoundrelly of us, then so be the consequences.
I mean, Friedrich would absolutely be on the side of paying off. Like, he's a greaser of palms in general.
Yeah. It's also like you can like you're probably expecting some sort of attention from the law at this stage after that massive fight. So
yeah, I think if I were to think with my Silas hat on, not my Milo hat on, I think Silas's 2 thoughts would be 1, don't need any trouble right now. I'm full of holes.
Yeah.
And 2, he's got this kind of loyal streak to him, and doesn't want the war to necessarily immediately spill over to newfound allies and stuff like that. But probably more the former. Don't really need anyone knocking on the door right now.
Yeah. And you probably aren't super confident that Cortland is gonna keep stum?
No.
I guess he's a bit of a.
Well, he didn't do us a lot of good in the old fight, did he?
I think he helped. They actually.
Didn't he run off?
No.
I thought he ran off to go help with the boat situation.
That was Lorenzo.
But he may have helped. Yeah, I thought he went after Lorenzo.
No.
Okay, I misremembered that.
I think he was like, "Oh, cousin, like, what should we do? Should we come help you?" But yeah. No, the Lost were the ones who actually came around and outflanked the Billhooks and.
Yeah, I thought Cortland himself had left, but.
Oh, maybe I'm not sure. No, I don't think so.
I'm not. I mean, you said you watched it today. I'm remembering it from 3 weeks ago. So.
Fair.
So yeah. I trust in you.
Cool. Okay, so strike off those coin then.
Yep, taking it back out, sir.
But I will do a fortune die just to see. Okay, wow. So he would have. He's maybe not singing like a canary, but I think if we see the interrogation room, we see our old pal. Oh no, wait, he's not an inspector anymore. Scratch that. We see, we see some experienced blue coats, letting him talk until he gives something away. But a parcel comes in with some coin hidden within it, and so they kick him out of the station begrudgingly.
Sorry, who was this?
The entanglement was they questioned Cortland about the score.
Right. Cortland being the
lost guy, yeah. But because if you didn't get a 6, he would have given you more heat, and you're one away from going up a wanted level.
I can see.
The team opted to pay them off with the 2 coin they got from the looted bodies of the blue billhooks.
I was going to ask about cash. I assume there wasn't much to go around, but the answer is net 0.
Net 0. And I will tick the Spirit Warden clock, as I did mention the single crow watching the street filled with bodies.
Well, yes, right outside our headquarters as well.
Yeah, and in fact, I imagine as you have scurried back into your your workshop, and then you see over the next few hours, you see the Spirit Wardens coming down the street with the crows kind of circling above, and you see them taking the bodies and then disappearing in rather spooky, silent, but very efficient manner.
I imagine we're all just sitting in our little deck chairs, sipping margaritas, just watching the cleanup happen.
Yeah,
through the windows.
I think they're not all dead. Some of them were injured.
Very badly burned.
Very. All right, we'll call it a draw. So, yeah, Austin Powers, yeah.
Yeah, pull that one back.
Nice. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
Didn't realise that was Will Ferrell for ages.
I know, isn't that great? He's everywhere.
Mr. Powers, do you remember me?
Cool. In terms of the building, obviously it was a big. You mentioned in the weekend, but do we have a sense of how? They've lost their top guy. Their actual top guys in jail. We killed quite a lot of their people. Do we have a sense of comparatively, say, towards when we're taking the Red Sashes? Do we feel like we're kind of starting on more of a front foot of this war than the previous one? Or do we feel like it's still quite an uphill battle?
So I think with the Red Sashes, they were more of an elite force. The Billhooks are more lower quality, but spread a lot further. They would basically hire anyone who was strong and intimidating and fancied a life of crime. So there was quite a lot of them. You have taken out a few of the lieutenants and got Coran, obviously, but I think it's no secret that Tarvel, the dad, Billhook's dad, is truly the actual leader, running things from inside Ironhook through his wife. Apparently, it's his sister, but anyway, it's fine. It's his wife, Erin Cassidy. Who Coran is ruthless, but he's also like, he's the kid, right? So the parents are more ruthless still. So we're able to probably bring to bear a decent amount of force against you. So what I'm saying is, if you're asking for some sort of progress clock, think again.
No, just more trying to get a sense in my head. Like, do we like, we'll wrap this up in a week, or we feel like, right, cool, there's still quite a long plod to go. Is more what I was trying to get a sense, just the scale of it. It's hard because in our mind I was like, cool, well, I kind of forgot about wars. I thought, well, we'll just bring them all back. I'll kill all the billhooks, and then we'll be done. But obviously, not. So good to know.
I mean, they are. It's like it's a good big. I don't think you ever achieved this kind of victory against the Red Sashes, apart from when you did like one of those targeted scores.
There's a big widespread of them, but they've got some very obvious, very quite key linchpins that if you literally take away, the whole thing kind of crumbles. Seems like a bit more. Whereas the Red Sashes, which, like you say, just smaller but really hard things to tick off. Almost quite.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That.
Yeah, and dare I say, I think now you're sort of starting to win over the Dockers and other factions and enemies of the Billhooks. Like, that is also quite a big victory over the Billhooks, because they rule with fear. So they basically like, as long as the Dockers are scared of them, then that's a lot of their power, because they do a lot of the actual stuff that brings them their income. So it's like, if you can get the Dockers to rise up in an effective way, which is kind of what you wanted to do from the start, right? But
yeah, that was the flip of it, right? Was the whole
yeah.
So it was taking the Darks. Bill looks in control, but not liked. They have a bloody reputation. Yeah, that was it. We were looking to strike a better deal than company, and whenever the Dockers, that was always the main objective. So we were on the way.
Yeah, and
indeed.
And of course, you have someone who maybe would know exactly how to defeat the Billhooks in one swift blow, potentially in your custody. So we can do some downtime activities, or we can do a bit of free time if you want to chat to Coran, maybe.
So a few things jump into my head. There's Coran, obviously we should deal with that as a more immediate aftermath. And then just thinking for bigger things, there's obviously different elements, right? There's doing more to placate the Dockers, whatever that might look like. There's literally going after the dad. Everin? The dad? Errand?
Tarvel.
So close.
Erin is the mum.
And wait, so yeah, that's quite a new name, right? Have we heard of that before? Is that brand new? Am I right for that's quite a new? Which one? Erin.
So no, not really. She was one of the people in the scene with the Norfolk Company.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yes, that's not a big problem, isn't it? And we have no idea, but we don't really know of her, other than probably just knowing there is.
I don't think you've met her, no.
No. Well, we know about the dad because we know about Coran. So she's fine. We don't really know in character about the threat of the Norfolk. We're still trying to actually win them over in our mind. We're still thinking, well, we can strike up a legitimate deal with them. That's still kind of our, as far as we know, to continue to RP. We have no reason yet to know that they're a consortium of our worst enemy.
Yeah. You've only just blown up one of their customers' houses, that's all.
Cool. Well, yeah, I think that it's, we'll downtime activities, but free time, if we is more the interrogation or the placation of Coran.
Okay, well, you only have one downtime activity now each, so.
Oh, good lord. Would
you're at war.
would the core and stuff count as downtime? Or is it
No,
just free
you
time?
can leave that for free time.
Cool.
Oh, and actually, sorry, you've got your turf cover operation, so you do get -2 heat per score.
Yes.
So actually, you are.
Good.
So you could have risked not paying that 2 coin, but I don't know if you would have.
Probably best just to take that, since we're not really gonna
Fine.
be doing much heat reduction, are we?
We need to get some turf back. Yeah.
Don't blame me. Blame the people who were. Let's trick the billhooks into killing half of their gang.
Yes, that's a good point. I was away for 1 session. 1.
What happened?
When was the last time, before the last time, I even missed a session? And you're like, let's go to war?
Hey guys,
Right.
guys, you know what'd be funny? Let's fuck everything up before Milo gets
Yeah. And we're really funny, right?
And
We're really
who
funny, right?
has to be at the front fighting the war?
I was at the back fighting the war, thank you very much.
Who nearly died fighting your war?
Yeah, but who takes the level 3 in harm though? Let's be real.
It's usually me. For me,
Yeah,
for a change, it's not
usually
me, so,
Saffron.
At least you took the harm doing something that should give you harm, not just like
To be
casually
fair,
walking down the road
yeah.
and getting slapped in the face by a fucking dinosaur.
Old Silas did take 2 level 3 harms. He just decided to wear his heavy armor that day.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Does that need repairing? Is that a downtime thing or?
Nah, it's just a
Yeah.
nah. Refreshes after downtime. Just refreshes.
Yeah. What are you, like a Caradron overlord who needs to spend his downtime repairing his gear?
What do you think I get Friedrich to do all his spare time? He got nimble fingers. He spends all week putting my chain links back together.
He would do the most unbelievably terrible job of that. Like,
And that's why he keeps taking harm.
Big gaps in it.
Friedrich,
fashionable
you see,
couture, certainly.
I appear to have been stabbed exactly where I was stabbed last week.
Alright. Well, has anyone got a downtime activity they'd like to do?
Yeah, well, I need to. So I never got around to it. I need to start. So one thing we never touched on because I was away for the last one. During the previous raiding of the said mentioned
Oh yeah.
check-in dock, Saffron did find a half-burnt blueprint for a hull. So I'm starting the clock for researching
Yes.
the hull, which I think we agreed Olly was gonna start out. What did you say?
Oh no. Have you got me in writing?
I've got you in writing.
Oh.
Maybe a form already one components. 2.5. So the beginnings of the formula. What does that really mean, though? No, not quite as writing as I thought.
Aha.
You said I got a start. You said you said maybe you have the formula already, which I thought was very generous. Or one of the components, and I think I offered for a half a thing. I think a hull it said I think was 8, so I think we're looking at a 4 progress clock. I just need to double check.
Okay.
Research it. But I will also spend 2 coin for another. Can you buy other downtime activities even during a war? Can you still buy other downtime activities?
Yeah, with 1 coin.
Cool. I will spend a coin to also do a stress to indulge my vice, which we have to anyway, right? Because otherwise we go mad. So we have to do that, don't we?
Yeah, if you've got trauma, you take
Yeah.
1 stress per trauma if you don't indulge your vice.
Yes. So I will do that as well. While I figure out the clock, because I lost it. Gone. Right. I'm just dodging the holes. Craft. There we go. Yeah, sample. Hull. Very complex. 6 stage. Oh no, 6 stage. It said to. Oh, that's to assemble. Oh, it doesn't really say. Let's go with 4. Keep it fair.
For what?
A progress clock of 4 for the research.
Okay.
If we're saying, I'm sure I read somewhere that roughly, because the tier would be 8 research pips. We can always come back to it later if it's not, I suppose. and if you found half the formula already. So I will do that. How do I do for that? I'm not actually researched formulas yet in the game. I kind of just kind of got them by having them.
So this is for the hull.
This is a hull. This is this is just to research the. This is just to research the actual how to make it, not the actual making of it yet.
Yeah.
This is still just actually getting the formula ready. I'm suddenly wondering, how do you actually research? What do you do?
I imagine it's just another like
inventing. There you go. Most due forms. Yeah, that was it. Yes, most due form design required 8-second progress clock. There we go. To invent and learn. Great.
So it should be a tinker roll, right?
Tinker roll, yeah. How do I research? That's the craft. But how do I get a pip? What do I need to do to get a pip? Is it kind of like healing almost? Is it? Well, let's roll the tinker roll and see what actually comes out. If it's shit, then we'll know what it is anyway. Here we go. Tinker position. Stand effect.
Hook, line, and tinker.
Hook, line, and tinker.
Tinker Tailor. Soldier Spy. Alright, so that's 2 segments.
Right. That's a good start. Good, things like that.
Good start. What does this look like? Old Saffron researching this blueprint. I mean, yeah, we said it was something that you'd found.
Like
Friedrich had found it in the
Saffron
vault.
I think it was a half. It got half burnt on the way out. Maybe it got a half burnt off in the explosion, so it's kind of got most of it. So it's a lot of trial and error. It's a lot of self-electrocutions. There's a lot of things, but he's got a lot of. He managed to acquire quite a lot of Sparkcraft stuff over the previous tours, what with gallivanting into the Deadlands and a few snatches from the score, and then there was even stuff with Flint. So he's got a lot of Sparkcraft bits. There's a lot of basically just seeing. He's got quite a lot of the structure ready, so it's really just more figuring out the rest of the components. Because obviously a lot of it, the actual kind of plating to make it work, not the complicated bit. It's going to be the actual mechanism to actually make it work right. So it's getting the
arc reactor,
pretty much. And I think back to his experience with the
Dinner Sisters
the Sparkcraft, that device he found that we had to transport across the battlefield, ticking clock. I think back to his experience with that as well. So it's a lot of kind of almost like retrofitting a lot of his experience to kind of match what he's kind of seeing. So it's definitely like he's seen quite a lot. So having this half of the instructions is really going, and it started kind of place. It's just now more trial and error, trying to kind of get that kind of almost arc reactor life into it. So it's a lot of noise, a lot of mini explosions, a lot of power. Not power, but a lot of yelling and screaming and
I guess the big difference is like your wheelchairs run on ectoplasm.
Yes,
but this is actually literally containing a soul that powers it, like a living light, like an actual living ectoplasm. Is it ectoplasm? Electroplasm. That's it. Ectoplasm is Ghostbusters again, I think.
That's Ghostbusters.
Real life ectoplasm.
So he's making. I think so. So he's making good progress in researching it. So it's just mainly, I think he's got all the actual bits in the right place. It's just figuring out how the hell you actually get this to kind of enliven, to actually kind of be prepared to be enlivened. So
and does it correct me if I'm wrong, but this is just like the chassis, and then to research things like attachments you have to do more?
I'm sure. This will be to build. I mean, they've got it down here to build the actual hull as well. So this is the whole thing. So I'll have to build an inner chassis. I'll have to craft an inner chassis, a clockwork actuator, a sensorium, a soul vessel, an outer shell, and a feature. So there will be 6 days to actually craft the thing. This is just researching that whole before I can craft it. So
blueprints,
So
and then you can go full Volt 31, which is the one with all the brains.
One of them anyway. Nice. Cool. I'll double my vice as well and see if I can get the stress off as well. About 5. Nice. Okay.
Decent.
Cool. That's just 5 stress off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
What's your vice again? Is it drugs?
Yes, absolutely, yes.
Yeah. So
Which again after, so I think he's definitely sitting in his deck chair. No, it's not a margarita. He's definitely shooting up on something. Just watching the spirit wardens just glide by. It's quite a transcendental.
It inspires you.
I think so. Yeah.
You're like, wait
That
a
is a-
minute.
Horrifying experience, right? You're coming
know, it's
down
kind of-
from whatever horrendous
The
mushroom
Grim Reapers
opiate
just-
you're on,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
spectral guardians coming after you.
Yeah. Oh well, it's just what it is. It's just a regular Tuesday, isn't it? Cool. That's my downtime.
Nice. All right. Who's next? Some healing, perhaps, Silas?
Well, here's why I'm in a little bit of a pickle. I'm up at like 7 stress or 6 stress or whatever. If I don't indulge my vice, I'll be like on the verge of being traumatized
For a third time.
for a third time.
Hmm.
But also, I'm terribly wounded. But these injuries will go down a pip, won't they? Down a level after our downtime. Is that how we're doing it?
You'll lose level 1 harm.
Lose level 1. Do the others just stay the same? Is that?
Yeah, so you
That's
can.
what it was. Okay, sorry. Yes, I've misremembered that.
I think you can clear both 2 and 3 by filling the healing clock.
Okay. Well, we might just have to spend a coin to try and do a bit of both. So let's bring out Dr. Saffron.
Hello. And I have an interesting question. I wrote down notes because I wasn't sure. So obviously we can earn XP for our stuff we do outside of combat. And I was wondering, does Saffron's healing count as addressing a situation with technical skill? Interesting question. I don't know if that marries up at all. Seems a bit OP if I can.
Yeah.
But it is interesting because we can do out of school XP stuff, obviously. But it's interesting. Just a nice question I thought I'd ask because I put a note down. It sprung to me.
I don't think it goes with the raison d'etre of the game.
Yeah, it's a bit passive almost, isn't it? It's kind of like a passive ability.
Yeah. The express stuff is like, in the game is like,
Yeah,
play your character when you otherwise would forget to.
It's based on passive, looking for passive income, same thing, and it's just,
Yeah.
yes, okay. I'll sit back and let the XP roll in. I just still don't like how I don't get a benefit from it. I have to take stress to heal myself, but there we go. That's fine. That's how it is. It pleases me that Silas gets Saffron can help with.
Some like
Silas's
D&D
great
healing
injuries.
spells you can't do on yourself, can you?
No, that's true. Like some, not lay on hands, but certain ones are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always just trying to put those extra little bits in there to be a little annoying.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
But yes, +1 for your healing at least. So
Well, wait, +1 for what is that?
plus one dice.
statement? +1
just
dice.
+1 dice to your healing roll. Yeah. Yeah, +1
Don't
to the
you do
healing
the
rolls.
roll?
No, you just get +1. Everyone in your crew gets +1 D to their healing treatment rolls.
Okay, all right. Well, we're gonna need a. So how many? Wait, the one thing I didn't. How many dice do you get by default?
So it's the tier of your doctor, so 2.
Tier of your doctor. You could be a bit higher tier, could you, Saffron? Where are you?
Not really like it's a group effort.
So it's going to be 3 dice.
That's good.
All right. So just want to be clear, we need a 6 here because a 6 with Silas's permanently filled in segment will heal all of his wounds quite miraculously. But if he fails, then he will end up succumbing to stress next session and probably dying or becoming lost to his traumas. So
But
Saffron,
you can roll another. You can use a coin to do another. Downtime,
exactly.
take quick shots.
Silas needs to do both.
Yes. All right.
So
So
if there's no 6 here, Saffron, no, perhaps dare I say, Mikey, we'll be having words.
you need a critical, right? Because you need because a 6 is only 3 segments.
Yeah, but some of us, namely Silas,
Oh,
are
yes.
leaderist.
Yes.
So, and when I took this, I was like, yeah, I don't know, but as of this moment, you are fucking kidding me.
Oof.
Michael!
Triple
I
one.
gave you the dice. I gave you what you needed. If you can't roll a freaking d6, not on me.
It's the first time ever, I think, in this campaign.
That is poor. I mean, better rolling it now than in like heated blade to blade combat.
It is true.
That's
It's okay. That's one segment. Although at this point it feels like maybe I should like remove my permanently filled in segment for such terrible failure. Like I just lose that ability.
Yeah.
Like Saffron has
a lung
literally
explodes.
been
Yeah.
like, there's definitely some sort of injury in here. Oh fuck! Dropped
That triple one is you came to him to heal you while he was sitting stoned out his face in the deck chair for some reason. You were like,
Yeah,
oh,
bollocks.
now's the moment to try and get him to heal me.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good, mate.
You think you're still working on a hull, so you're like, maybe I can
Yeah.
put.
Rip that off and just cut that off and
Why
just.
is this metal leg so squishy?
Right, that does leave me in a pickle.
Oof.
I'm either going into the next score still badly wounded,
Yeah.
or unable to do any special actions of any kind.
There's no limit to how much. Is there a limit to how many gold you can spend to do more downtimes?
I mean, I would say one is
All right.
reasonable.
Well, wouldn't have been a problem if somebody didn't take us to war.
Take us to war is
I
a
think-
strong statement.
Is it?
Yeah, Nixon.
So,
Jesus.
I mean, thematically speaking, the only logical option is he keeps trying to recover his wounds because
Yeah, it's the priority. Yeah.
his hobby
could've-
is going to the fighting pits.
Yeah, and you can technically avoid taking stress, technically. So,
Yeah. Yeah, just well, it's just how it is. That's the consequences of getting.
so you got to spend another coin to.
Yeah, so we got to spend a coin, and we heal again, and Saffron, if you let Silas down again, then we will be talking about his latest trauma and about Silas's violent tendencies.
Oof, that's
Huzzah!
Huzzah! That's counted with the one. It's through, right?
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay.
Jolly good. So he's miraculously healed.
Miraculously, with no reason till there.
Yeah. You've been given a clean bill of health from Saffron Monkshood as dawn breaks.
Yeah, you wait. I'll wait a couple hours actually. Let him sober on a bit.
So does that mean you, because of your 2 traumas, you will take 2 stress,
That's correct.
and that gives
Leaving
you a
Silas-
3rd trauma?
No, it leaves me with 1 pip.
Oh, okay.
1 pip, but effectively bit shafted for the next score. Really, just got to play it extremely cool.
Yeah. The next score will be chill. It'll just be chill, easy, get some money, but maybe just like play go poker. Maybe
It will,
Maybe just gamble.
Saffron, because I will be here during the
Rob a
planning
grocery
stage.
store or something.
Let's do a good old-fashioned smuggling score. You sit
go
on
play
the
bingo.
damn Dodger for a bit.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it.
Go
Just,
see if Scarlet
wanna-
needs another ticking time bomb
Yeah.
delivered,
yeah, that's it. Super chill.
and then the bill
Do you
hooks
like
will
that?
descend on you.
We'll do what they said in that thing and do like 3 scores in a session. We'll just bang them out.
I've actually just remembered a thought process from half an hour ago when I was adding my special abilities, and I may just do a switcheroo. Because the special ability I added to my sheet, and this was not so much with thought to avoiding this situation, but in general, it seems fitting that he might take the tough as nails trait, which is actually from the Hound book. Because he really has been through the ringer a bunch of times, and he's still alive, and that has the benefit: penalties from harm are 1 level less severe.
Yeah.
So what I actually think would be fitting both to that and to being used in the next score is just eat the harms, finish healing them next time, but they won't be as terrible. because it'll just be less effect.
Less effect. So does that? So you're saying, does it make the
So
desperate consequences?
You still take the level of harm that it says, apart from 4, but it reduces the effect to the lower level. So
Okay.
let me just get back to the book to read its actual, because I've just put it very in brief on my sheet. So tough as nails. With this ability, level 3 harm doesn't incapacitate you. Instead, you take -1d to your rolls. Level 2 affects you 1 level less effect. Level 1 has no effect on you, but you still write on your sheet. Level 4 harm is still fatal.
Okay.
So yeah, you record it as it is, but it doesn't affect you. What affects you 1 down.
Okay. So this is the same as armor then, essentially.
No. It doesn't change the level of harm you receive.
Yeah.
It reduces the penalty of the harm that you have.
Oh, I see. So okay. So it's a level. It can be a level 3 harm, but it's the.
It will be treated as a level 2 harm. But again, so if you take a second level 3 harm, you just die, right?
Yeah.
Because it would then become level 4 harm. So it won't affect that system. Like, it doesn't affect how wounded you actually are.
Yeah.
It's just your ability to grit your teeth and keep going.
Yeah. So instead of getting like the -1 effect, -1 dice, you get the -1 effect instead, basically.
Yes, exactly. Which I think is quite nice, because actually it means that level 1 harm doesn't actually affect you, which I think to like those types of characters, that's the kind of like, oh, it's just I've only been shot in the arm kind of heroes who just seem to be fine.
Nice.
So I'm going to do that instead, and then that means I'm going to indulge my trauma, indulge my vice. But Silas has always had this bit of a dual vice thing for me. It's always been like he's going down to the fighting pits for like drink, drugs, oblivion, and fighting. Even though we've always treated it mostly as fighting, maybe he's a bit more on the oblivion stage. Or maybe he is fighting. I don't know. With broken ribs.
You've already done 2 downtimes.
No, that's what I mean. I wanted to retcon the thing I'd just done.
Oh, so you didn't heal.
So take the second heal away.
Okay.
And instead do a stress reduction.
Okay.
Because otherwise I'd be immediately wasting the
thing
that I
that makes sense.
Picked.
Yeah. So what harm are you on now? Was it 2 level 2s?
So he's got 2 level 2s.
Which are effectively 2 level 1s.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
I feel like I managed to make that more complicated sounding than it was.
What's complicated?
So I will indulge vice.
There you go.
Well, there you have it. It wasn't great either, but at least now he's like a bit less effective in all areas rather than at risk of total breakdown.
Yeah. You still got room to push yourself. You need to.
Yeah. Still got room for a moment or two.
Mm-hmm.
When our extremely low-key score turns into a bloodbath.
Mm-hmm. All right. Friedrich, then.
Yes. Friedrich's downtime will be fairly simple, given that he wasn't present on the on the last score.
What's the narrative there that Friedrich was?
Well, you can just kind of play it whichever way each time, right? I was going to say that I might have Friedrich's downtime activities have happened during said score.
Yeah.
Given that he was not present. And a little bit of stress. So from the previous adventures, so Friedrich is going to indulge his vice. He had a flyer about a very big auction of Leviathan Hunter trading cards. in a reputable auction house called Madame Bayet's Collectibles in
Lovely.
White Crown.
Lovely.
So dons his finest cogs and goes to this auction trying to get some like triple star ultra rare. I can't think of any silly Leviathan Hunter names. Some super rare trading cards anyway. So yeah, I need to roll my lowest attribute, which is resolve.
Self. There should be a indulge vice button, I think.
Yeah. Oh, fuck's sake, where is it? There it is. Blink. Oh, bonus dice, nothing. Ignore that second one. I don't know why that happened, but I rolled a 2.
Yes, the 5 would have overindulged you as well.
means-
This is probably quite good.
Oh god, yeah, shit. Well, that's lucky.
Yes.
So he just gets slightly outbid on the ultra rare shiny that he wanted.
Yeah.
But still gets a few like pretty decent additions to his collection. Enjoys himself, splashes a bit of cash, has a few drinks.
Nice.
And while he's like in the auction house bar afterwards, he has a few words with other collectors who are in some way, connected to the kind of museum and collectibles and artifacts scene, and ask some questions after the owners of the museum that we robbed, where the magic jar was. So that is my long-term project right now, is tracking them down to try and find out more about said magic jars and uncover the mystery of what the fuck happened with my mad vision.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna roll to advance that long-term project.
Nice.
Um,
And it will cost a coin because you're at war, but all good otherwise.
that is okay with me. I have quite a lot of coin. That's like the one resource Friedrich has in excess at this point.
Nice. And I'll do a clock for you as well.
So yes, we'll spend a coin, which I'm looking up. Roll 8, and then yeah, it's 1 to 3, 1, 4 to 5, 2, 6, 3, crit 5. So my it's going to be a shit roll because talking to people is basically sway or consort, and I have 1 dice in sway, so it's going to be 1 die. Position is always controlled for this stuff, right?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Okay. Two segments, decent.
Actually, nice bit. Decent, yeah. Buys a few drinks for some randomers.
Yeah. I think you perhaps you speak to someone who has travelled in through Iruvia and has heard of the collection of that the collection that was on display, and tells you that most people think it's all legend and mystery and fairy tale, but there are some collectors, some small circles that believe in the legend of the Holy Grail. I mean the Scarab, and its secret powers. Its secret but terrible powers. And some even say that the Iruvian crown are also searching for this power.
Oh,
The Iruvian Sultanate or whatever it is.
fuck those guys.
I'm gonna try and cook up some weird lore that links the Scarab of Sarakai, which I have but haven't worked out how to use yet, and the the magic pots. But Friedrich doesn't know that yet. But yeah, one segment away now from finding the identity of those, the owners, the original owners of those jars, such that I may track them down and find out
Okay, you got
the
it.
truth of the legend.
Okay, cool.
Oh, but yeah, sorry, you gave me a clock, a 4-segment clock.
Okay.
To find the, it's called Track Down the Magic Jar Owners, and it was to find the
Okay, cool.
original owners of that exhibit who gave it to the museum or sold it to the museum or whatever, so I can then find those people and ask them what the fuck happened with them and how I can
Nice.
not cure myself. I'm not cursed, but like to find out the mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
So yeah, it's my downtime.
I can't wait for that revelation to happen in the middle of a war as well.
Milo, you have
I'm a billhook by birth.
you have the ability Vigorous. Is that the one you have that fills up a?
That is right.
It says here also gives you +1d to your healing rolls.
Does it?
That's what it says in the rulebook. Vigorous.
And
You
that
recover harm
is-
faster. Permanently fill one of your healing clock segments. Take +1d to
And
healing
you know
treatment
what?
rolls.
It is written right there on my sheet in front of me, and my eyes did not take it in. So I suppose we'd best write that one. Roll that.
Big
Roll
bold.
that. So it's going to be another one, guys. Let's not get too excited. We all know how the dice gods work. But also be really nice. Thanks. Thank you there, Saffron. Is this you trying to recover the good name of Saffron, who just dropped his lung on the floor?
No, fuck no. I was just looking at everyone's different skills to see if I could grab one for my new ability and sort it out.
Huh. Ah! Saffron, my old boy.
You
I've
doubted
always-
me. You doubted me, my
I've
skills.
always said that you were a fine healer.
A fine physician. There you go. You're welcome.
Well,
That's a powerful fucking skill. That I guess that really brings home like, yeah, you should be really getting in the shit, and I should stop getting in the shit because I do not have.
Yes.
I'm not tough as nails.
I mean,
I'd never really,
I'm tough as
clocked how
a
powerful
Cadbury's
some of
flake.
your. Exactly.
yeah, I mean, there's 2 to 3 different skills on the cutter sheet that are about being a bit tougher.
Yeah.
You can get Battleborn gives you a special armor just for free every time, which would be good as well. But I just thought this one, which is Nick from Hound, sounded more Silasy.
Yeah.
And on that note, special armors. What? Because everyone has every class has an ability that's use your special armors to do some cool shit.
Not every class, but
Seems like
it basically allows you to resist a consequence.
But what is special armor? How do you have it? Can you always use it as like part of your loadout? Is that what it is?
You can use it. You have it as part of your loadout, yeah, and use it once per score. It's like normal armor, but it's supposed to be like, it's essentially like a thing that you can use, whatever it is, to avoid one consequence.
It is quite specifically plot armor.
Exactly.
But why does it say what? It says you expend your special armor, but in my default it says armor. I mean, is it...
I think special armor. If you have the ability to use it, you just get it. Until you get that ability, you have no way to spend it.
How do you get it?
Just take an ability.
Yeah, just tick. Use an ability. But if you're saying on the sheet, just tick. You just tick armor as your loadout, basically.
There's no special armor as a part of the loadouts themselves.
It's just armor, right?
It's just regular armor. So the way I read it is that resource is always there for you, but you don't know how to use it
until you get the ability.
Yes.
That's
how I read it anyway.
Right.
Maybe, maybe one for our DGM to verify.
Yeah, I thought you meant there was another ability that taught you how to use special armor, and then that's a little bit overly complicated for blades. So that makes sense.
There'll be abilities that say gain special armor.
See, that's quite cool because I've got the ability that I've never been able to use, which is my choose my drug or poison, and I can push myself to secrete it through my skin, but it's pushing myself. But it seems like if I got fortitude, I could then use my armor to resist the consequences of that. That's what it seems like. Does pushing myself and gaining stress count as a consequence of using a chemical?
No, consequence is basically what happens when you roll a 1 to a 5.
Such a pointless ability.
The thing that you can
Capital
normally
C
resist.
consequence.
Yeah, exactly. Well, with the last 2 minutes, let me end on something that is happening in the world, because I'm doing something that I don't normally get to do, which is making a GM move. Because you have a powerful enemy within your midst.
Oh, yeah.
Coran, as you're going about doing your downtime, maybe you've given him some time to recover from his wounds. Saffron, maybe you're tending to him as well on the next table over. And you notice that he is has his eyes closed, and he seems to be like slowing his breathing. And then after a few moments, he opens his eyes, and they have a sort of a electroplasmic tint glow to them, and he starts to look quite intense with these glowing eyes. And you recognize this because you've seen it several times before as what happens when Lorenzo is looking through the eyes of Gus.
I blindfold him.
And as you look out sort of towards the window where the spirit wardens are taking away the bodies, you hear the braying of a pack of hounds coming swiftly down the street, and you feel that these could be the infamous death dogs that the billhooks keep and train.
No.
Oh, thank God Silas is fully healed.
Get off the operating table, Silas.
Thank you, you're healed. Dogs.
Yeah, I also just like this idea that, like, Saffron's like, yep, your ribs aren't broken anymore, and Silas is going to be like, well, that's bloody good news, isn't it?
Yeah,
and he's going to get out there and be like,
Jump.
fucking liar. Ow.
So that's interesting. So wait, okay, well, we'll have to resolve it. That sounds like an out-of-score combat story. I don't know. We'll see. That sounds very exciting.
Yeah. He's Lorenzo isn't the only hound in Duskfall.
Oh, okay, right. Okay, it is literally. Oh, I didn't just clock that. It's literally it's a very literal class, the hound.
Well, I mean,
Is that literally?
Lorenzo may not be the only person with that specific ability in the whole world.
So is that a hound ability that is literally to? Is his ghost dog a literal hound ability? Is it?
Yeah, ghost companion or whatever it is, spiritual companion or something.
Ghost hunter? No, whatever. Cool. Well, anyway, very terrifying.
And that is where we'll end it.
Lovely.
Until next time, when we
We're
see,
back, baby.
when we
We're back.
do some more swashbuckling.
Yeah, I want to see some proper, communist manifesto uprising.
I think that is next.
The Northhook companies. Exactly, and the Northhook Company, they say we're coming after their housing, and they're right. Get over here.
Yes.
Liberté.
All right, guys. Catch you next time.
Good to see your faces.
Cheers, OP. Cheers, lads.
Fun.
All right.
Good little
Cheers.
set. Chat a bit.
Bye.
Nerds.
Bye, guys. Cheers, Ollie. Great stuff. Bye.